Welcome to episode 43. This is the peer-to-peer network coding session series. Today we will try to finish with the process of creating a new profile from a social trading app. Okay, so let's go to the code. We have almost everything done. Then we realized that there were a few things not correct. One was to try to create the open storage stuff at this point, and it's not correct because we are not creating a social persona, so this shouldn't be done here. Okay, so that's one thing. Then the second thing is, so I will move this to some other place where we can use it better. Okay, so the other thing is that we are saving everything is done well, but we are not creating the pull request that is going to merge the profile into the repository. Okay, so because we're not doing that, that means that we have to do it. And the third thing is that we need to debug still the path where the user profile does not exist in the SuperAlgo system. So three things to do now, and probably more, because some of this functionality, for instance, recording the profile or submitting the pull request or fetching the profile from GitHub, we will also need it when we create or delete the social persona. So I will probably need to move this to some common place where we can reuse it. Okay, so let's go to step number 1. That is make the pull request. So for that, okay, so I don't know what I was doing exactly here, but I will put this. Why do I have this response here? Save user profile. Okay, this is save user profile. And we are going to have a specific function for what is wrong with this? Okay. So I'm going to create a function send pull or user profile pull request. Okay. So in that function, we're going to do the pull request. Create a pull request with the change in profile so that it can eventually be merged into the governance plugin. Okay. So to create a pull request, I'm going to borrow some code from the place that we are already doing this, and is HTTP interface probably. Okay, so do GitHub. Um, so this is how we create a pull request in GitHub. But that is not exactly what we need to do. First, we need to update the file at our own fork, and then from there create a pull request. Okay, and that is already done with a new feature that somebody added here. I think the name is profile update or update profile. Okay, update. So I will need to find first because exactly the same thing was done before. So um, okay, it should be here inside Gov. Must be this one, user profile. Here, create a pull request. So this does a check of the fork. So there are a lot of things that have already been coded here. We are not reusing. Update user, for instance. Do GitHub user. So there is some encoding done. Get a SHA. Hmm. So it's not as simple as you might believe. So I wonder what we can reuse of all this stuff. But I'm also curious of how the open storage is dealing with this. Let me check that out. Okay, this is a simplified version of how to deal with this. Okay, probably we'll use this one and redo it a little bit. Because it's much more clear. So I will reuse this one. With this we are saving the file at our fork. Okay, and after that we need to create a pull request, but that is not difficult to do. We're going to do like this. This is going to be called a push user profile and pull request. Okay, so one more function there, push profile and pull request. This then we are going to move it at the common place so that we can reuse it, but for now okay, we already have the token or not. Guess we do. So how are we doing the other stuff? So here we don't need the token. Okay, this is how we're going to use the token. Token and user profile also, because this function is leaving this place. So user profile and token. So token. Then we have OctoKit, blah blah blah, repo. What is the repo that we are going to save? We already defined Governance plugin repo name. So the branch, the decision was that we were going to be we're going to be using develop as a branch. Okay. I'm not 100% clear why, but this is how we are using it today. We are doing all these pull requests to develop, then they go to master. So for now, I will just continue what we are doing today. Or even better if we are super explicit and we do like this. again. So the message don't need to be here. Also, I will start simplifying this because the branch can be directly here. So it doesn't need to be here. The token, we already have the token. So AutoKit, the save version, the path. File path and file name. Um, so what we will need here is as a path or user profiles. Sorry, the path would be user profiles and the file name the same story provider username. Then we have the complete path, the buffer, we're going to replace this because we're going to make a generic function. So file content is going to be JSON stringify user profile and define for. So that's our file content. What we are doing here is push plugin file and pull request. We're going to do it generic so that we can reuse it potentially. So file content token repo owner file path file name. With the changes or new plugin so they can eventually be merged into the pedagogos plugin repo. Okay. I'm not sure that this is going to come through here. But we will see. Okay, so buffer content file exist const and you're not going to do a reject or a resolve. Mm. So got a conflict here. What I'm going to do now is to check out the plugins project. Foundation community plugins. So these have plugins. Here, probably I will add a new, because this is from disk. Okay, I will create another file here so that I can have a way to retrieve a plugin from GitHub. Plugins at GitHub. Okay. Plugins at GitHub. So Okay, so these plugins, I will find where they are defined here, and I will use it as a template. No, this is not the place because here we are not at UI. So this is not the place I'm looking for. Is this one? Plugin at GitHub. Perfect. So that means that I can have this. So my user profile, this function that I'm creating, is actually something that should come inside here, plugin at GitHub. So I have one place where I can save and retrieve plugins and stop doing this everywhere. Okay, so this is going to be here and this here. Okay. Also, I might. Okay. So this guy here, I'm still going to have a function here. Same function. And push profile and pull request. Okay, so what I'm doing here, I will do it here. Okay, I will do it here, and this function I will execute it from here with an await. Okay. So from here I will send the user profile stringify. I will send this, I will set the governance by repo name, blah blah blah, and all good. Okay. So regarding the error handling here, what I will do is this. I will come in here and I will return new promise and call a function that is going to be called promise work. Save function promise work um, resolve reject, and we are going to put all the other stuff inside this. Okay. Like this. Okay. Then here I will do all my stuff, and if there is an error, I will return resolve. How to handle this? Um, what do I want? I want if this executes well, if this executes well, then I want nothing to happen. So I can say, for instance, then I'm going to if something fails, I will going to change the response for error. Error pushing the user profile to GitHub, and I'm going to put there the error stack. And if there is a then, I will leave it like this. Probably it's going to work. So this is what I want here. then that means that here I will send this error in the reject. Okay. And if this owner report file path, if file exists, is going to be true. What I'm going to do is put this inside this, because then I'm going to catch any error, not only the one there. And most likely I will do the same thing here, because from here is that I took these ideas. So I'm going to put this inside here. I don't really understand why we need the exist. If SHA exists, then we do this, else we do this. So maybe I can simplify this, or not like this. Maybe I can do an else here. And remove this and this. This looks cooler. That means that I can do the same stuff here. And remove this and this. So if there is any error here, I will reject with that. If GitHub says okay, then I will resolve. I don't think I'm going to print anything here, because I'm going to send this back on the reject. And that is everything I will do here. Okay, so once we create a social persona, I will be able to reuse this feature. Don't have to build it again. Okay, that's the idea. Okay, well, probably that's it. So the next thing I was going to do, this add open storage, create social entity, blah blah blah. In this case, we will need the open storage stuff. So add open storage. I'm going to move you out from here and put you in here, because we will need you later. Okay, and We are going to remove this because this is not part of this process anymore. And finally, the last thing I would like to do is to well, I've seen this being done also many times. So it would be useful to put it in a common place where we don't need to be doing this again. But the one that I really want to put in a common place is this one: check create user profile. But this is a special case because only in this situation I have to create the user profile. And requesting the profile doesn't seem to be a very big deal. It's just setting up the profile URL and fetching the stuff and then deciding what to do. In this case, if the profile exists, in the case of the social persona, if the profile doesn't exist, then it must cancel the stuff. So there is not much that I can reuse from this. If the user profile does not exist, then I run all through this code. Okay, so it seems that we reached the end of the coding and we will have to go on the debugging of this. I would rather prefer to do it in another session so as to be fresh because it's going to take at least 1 hour. So I'm going to finish this one here. You're going to commit this. So we have changes with this new module. Have some updates to this stuff. Profile schema. Move the function that we said we will move. And the changes over there. Okay, so we have create user profile procedure ready for debugging. Now all the code is there and we are ready to debug this stuff. So this is as far as we are going to go at this episode. Thank you for watching, and at the next one we are going to jump right into the debugging of this code. Thank you and bye.